Okay, so now we are recording. All right, awesome. So thank you guys for joining the Social Media Fridays. I'm so excited. So this week, we're going to be talking about TikTok. So TikTok is something that I think a lot of people might misunderstand, and maybe they don't really know what the heck TikTok is all
Do you want to
about.
listen to this? He's teaching me how to do TikTok. No.
And then for anyone that's still on there, you guys can go ahead and mute yourselves. There we go. Okay, so um, TikTok is basically, in a nutshell, a video platform that is like a video editor that's also a social media. So, for example, Instagram at its core is like a video editor, I mean, a photo editor that's also social media, right? And so that's the same thing TikTok is. So just think about it as a video editor that's also social media. And now it's grown so big that like it basically has the kind of reach that like YouTube has as far as creating videos. So before we get started into TikTok and jump into that, I want to introduce my guest here that's with me. We have Vanessa. Some of you guys know Vanessa. And so if you don't, here's a chance to get to know Vanessa. She's been one of my friends for a little while, and we live out here in the jungle in Belize. And she's also a fellow TikToker that we bonded over that, and we learned how to promote ourselves and promote business on TikTok. So share a little bit about yourself, Vanessa.
Hey there. So I actually love social media so much. It's one of the primary ways that I do my business. It's just by sharing online. I ran a traditional business for many years. Most people know me as an organite maker, so that's where my niche lies. And I've been able to use social media to connect with so many fellow makers around the world. Um, just the community of people that are more like spiritual based that I gravitate towards, and it's been such a great space to just share my passion. So that's like kind of where my social media experience comes from. When you run a business, you wear a lot of hats, and marketing was one of them. So that's where my background kind of got into. I've built my own websites and stuff in the past, and yeah, I just love it. It's great.
Awesome. And then, so for TikTok, why do you think TikTok is so important? Like, why would someone, if they want to promote themselves or promote business or whatever, why would they even do TikTok?
There's so much to TikTok. I was actually originally introduced by my little sister. She's like 14 years old. So she was right into this with her friends. And I saw this like community base where they'd come together and they'd learn different dances and collaborate. And when she showed me how fun the culture was, I was like, this is a really great way to make fun videos that would entice people to look at my content, because they're seeing more of like a personality of who's behind the business. So I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really interactive. And the more I get into it, there's so many different niches that you can find within the TikTok community.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that when I first found TikTok, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of fun. I found myself having way more fun than any of the other apps. I found myself, learning a lot of things too, and also becoming a little bit better at video editing because, like I said, it also teaches you how to edit videos as well, which is really, really nice and handy because, like, so many people, like, we're using video right now, and now you might have the ability to take this video and edit it and make it into something else that could be useful for whatever else you're trying to use. So I think
Yeah,
that that's a really cool thing as well.
it's such an easy way to like take your regular videos that you would post on your Instagram and kind of spruce them up with some music, and it's really easy and to like trim the videos and stuff. So even some of the simple videos that I make, I like to just filter them through TikTok before posting them to other apps.
Yeah, and that's a good point because on the last time we were talking in the last group, where some people were asking questions about video editor, and I mentioned a couple ones on the phone that are free, but I totally forgot TikTok. Like you can edit videos on TikTok,
Yeah.
and then you could share them into other places. What's great is TikTok has a little watermark, and it has your it has your username, so you can use that username to promote even further.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's really fun. Um, I encourage people to try it out for sure. because it is how like, Facebook and then Instagram, TikTok's just like the next one, right? So it's all about quick videos, and it's a really great way to make like little commercials and stuff too, using the trends and using some of the transitions. Makes it really eye-catching.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna jump right into some tips. I'm gonna try and keep this to be about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We'll see how it goes. And so basically, I want to start off with some tips. So Vanessa, do you have any tips for us for people that are using TikTok? What are some key tips, or maybe where would you start if you were going to do TikTok?
Okay, so I would start with, you can always take pre-recorded videos from your phone, from your camera roll, and you can always like add 2 or 3 of those videos and add music to it. And that's a really great way to start out if you're not able to just film on the spot per se. So that's a great way to just starting out, is just using what's in your camera roll and like kind of adding them together. And you can choose what parts of the videos and stuff you want to use for that. We just had a question come in about going live on TikTok. And that's actually once you hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, you have that feature. So I just recently got that, and it's pretty fun to play around with.
Yeah, and so we do have a couple questions. We're gonna try and hit most of the questions at the end. And so
Okay.
that we'll cover, because we have some tips that we're gonna run through. And if you guys want to take some notes, absolutely. And then we're gonna run through some of the questions at the end. Unless something like really pops up that you see that's like related to directly what we're talking about, then absolutely. Because I do want to answer all those questions as well. So I want to give a quick example of what Vanessa was talking about. So like, what does that mean? Like if you're going to create something from your camera rolls. So I'm going to try and do an example of that and share the screen. All right, so you guys can see my screen, right? Yeah, Vanessa, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to TikTok. And so I'm going to give you an example of creating a video. So like my TikTok got banned and totally hacked or something. So this is my backup account. And so I can't show you my full account, but I can show you how to create an example of a video. So you're going to hit this plus icon. Then you're going to, at the bottom right, you have options for uploads. So let's say you have several videos right here. And maybe I took a couple videos of this smoothie that I made. It was chocolate chips, bananas, and like some coconut spirulina. And I mixed it up in a blender. I poured it into a bowl and I added some chocolate chips. And this is how it came out. So what I did is I chose 7 videos in the order of that particular video. So that was just me taking a couple clips of um, me making a smoothie. That's all that it was. And then I hit next. And what it does automatically is it automatically puts them together and it automatically adds the sound. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but these sounds at the bottom line up with the music. And what you can see is you can go through different sounds that automatically start with you, or I mean, they're automatically set for you. And what you can do is you can choose between those different sounds, or you can hit default. You have sound sync or default as your 2 options. And then you could select an individual clip and you can shorten it or lengthen it as you see fit to make it match either the music or to make it match what you're trying to show off, right? So once you're done with that, you can hit next, right? And you can add your own sound. So you can hit sounds right here and you can select all kinds of different sounds or search your favorite song. Maybe you have a song that you love and you could search your favorite song. You can add that. So let's add an example onto here. Let's say this astronaut and the ocean. Once I select the sound, it's added. I can add a couple other features like add a voiceover. I can add any effects. I can change the volume. I can do a couple different text like you would on Instagram. And then I hit next. and I'm ready to post it. And then I can type in the description and the post or anything like that. So that's what Vanessa was talking about. Let me exit the screen share. So that's what Vanessa was talking about when she's saying you could take clips within your camera roll and you can add them onto there in the order that you want. And then you can shorten them or lengthen them as you see fit, add music and add text. And then, of course, hashtags or whatever else that you want to add to that. And that's just a basic how to post a video. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Vanessa?
Well, there's also like a lot of times they'll do like suggested sounds, and that's usually like from the trending sounds bank. So if you're not too sure, like if you don't already have an idea of what you want to create and you're just using from your camera roll, I often just recommend like try it, see what sounds they suggest, because it often does kind of go along with it, which is kind of weird, but it does it.
And what's great about that is you might be creating a video about something that you're passionate about or your business or whatever. And guess what? They're searching for that sound. They're looking at all the videos for the popular sound. And guess what? You pop up and your message is being shared to someone that wasn't looking for you initially, but now they found you. And that's one of the things that's beautiful about TikTok is that it blends music really well and it connects and blends so many different types of genres and people together. So that's also a great benefit as well. All right, so I want to add a tip now. So another thing about TikTok that can be really, really important. So for anyone that is actually already on there and using it, and you're familiar with how the app works, and you want to make this one of your main apps that you use, because there's so many different apps out there, but if you want to make this one of your own and take it seriously, I recommend 5 to 6 posts a day. And that might sound a lot. That might sound like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. How does anyone have time to do 5 or 6 a day? That sounds outrageous. And I'm going to share some reasons why. And also I'm going to share how easy it is to make a couple videos on TikTok and make them like that. So first of all, the reason why 5 or 6 is because the more that you do, the more at bats that you have, the more chances that you have to like get engagement. And that's what the whole point is engagement. If you don't post at all, then you're not going to, there'll be zero engagement, you know what I mean? Because you're not posting at all. If you post once, then it'll be less than 5, right? Just like obviously mathematically. So what you want to post, so example of a post could be a duet. So that can be a post, 1 to 2 duets. So what is a duet? A duet is where you see someone's video and let's say you like it and you press the feature where you press duet, and I can show you guys that in a minute. But you press the feature where you duet and you record yourself side by side. So their video is playing on one side, right? Like over here, and your video is playing on the other side, and you record what's a duet. And what that benefit does, it's like almost like on Facebook if you're sharing a post. So you guys are familiar with sharing a post probably on Facebook. You press the share button. This is TikTok's kind of version of sharing. So you would share a duet and you can place your video in different places. You can make it really small. You can make yours on the left, theirs on the right. You could put yourself in different ways, and there's a lot of creative things that you could do. And if it's a popular video, you could potentially enhance that, and also ride the wave, the trending wave, and get more views and more engagement in sharing what you're talking about. Another example is a repost. So what is a repost? I've never heard of repost until I started TikTok. I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing, that people do that, until I was on TikTok. So a repost is when you literally repost a post that you had posted previously. For example, if you posted something in January, but it did great in January, post it in July, post it again, post it next month. And that is a benefit on TikTok because it reshares it into new people that didn't see it before. So if you have a strong message or something that you believe in or something that did well, like I have a video that did over 5 million views. And you know what? I reposted that a few more times, and maybe it got 20,000, maybe it got 30,000, maybe it got 50,000. But guess what? That's way freaking better than not reposting at all, right? So that can be an example of something that you do once a day. So if you get into a cycle of creating content on TikTok, you can repost something that you've done before. And guess what? You can do it with a new sound. You could do it with a new text, right? You could do it like a lot of different ways. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer. I saw one of Vanessa's one time. I was like, Vanessa, you should repost this one, but only do 15 seconds right here. Like only do up to the 15 seconds to see what happens. You know what I mean? And there's stuff like that. Like sometimes people go on a rant and it's like, actually, your first 15 seconds was perfect. Like if you just stop there and just let go in the comments, like it might work out great. Another example of a simple post is what's called a stitch. Okay. And what a stitch is a stitch is when you take a small part of the video and you take that person's video and then you add to it. So for example, if someone is saying like there was this one funny video that I saw someone that made, they're like, why in the world are vegans so, and they're like hot, right? And I thought it was really funny. So I took that part that they said and I added my own video afterwards, like what I think, the reason why is, and it just goes to make a piece of content, right? And it's a way that you can connect with people. And I can show you how that works as well. I can show you like how a stitch works as well. And another example is an original piece of content where it's like you just create it. Maybe you're talking to the camera, right? And you just say like a quick blurb, hey guys, I just want to share something with you. I started this cleanse and I'm really passionate about it. And I want to see who's joining me. Boom, done. Maybe like it's 5 seconds, maybe it's 6 seconds. That's an original post, right? Or it could be like what I showed you earlier, where it's from your camera roll. That's an original post. And one last thing that I don't think people talk about TikTok, which I've had huge success in the past on TikTok, is if something worked really, really well, that's a video on another platform like Instagram or Facebook, and it worked really well, share that same thing on TikTok. Share that if it worked well somewhere else, it could work really good there. And I've had really good success on that, of something that doesn't seem like it would work on TikTok or doesn't seem like a TikTok-y video. And I just try it because it works somewhere else and it can be really successful. And keep in mind that it's vertical, right? So you can, all your stories on Instagram, all of your stories that you share on Instagram, you can share on Facebook, on TikTok. So Vanessa, either do you want to share another tip or would you like to share an example on how to do a duet or how to do a stitch?
Okay, well, I was actually thinking about because there's also like the stitch, and then you can also reply to comments. So if somebody comments on one of your videos, you could actually take that comment and respond to it using another video. And that's a really great way to be interactive, and it shows up what their comment was. So say they asked a question, you could answer their question with another video, and it would show in the thing like response to this person.
Yeah, maybe I'll do, okay, go ahead.
So, well, if we're on that one, maybe if you want to show how to do that on
okay, I'll do a quick screen share so you guys can see like what the heck are we talking about? Like, what the heck is a duet? Yeah. So I'll just do a quick screen share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, oh, by the way, let's say I was on this video and this video that I created earlier, and I'm like, you know what? I can't think right now, or you know what? I'm busy right now. I'm going to come back to it. At the bottom left, you can hit drafts and save it in your drafts, and you can come back to it later. So I'm going to see if I could find an example real quick of a comment, and I could do a reply. So I'm going to go onto this post, and let's say this person right here, they said, I'm not a vegan, but good for you. If you want to not eat meat, that's you, but I prefer to eat meat, right? So we know how these people go. And so what I'm going to do is I can hit a reply. I can click this, and you see how it says reply with video? I click reply with video, and now I can create a video reply to this. I can share a video like from my gallery to this, right? Or I can create something original and I could just reply directly to it. So let's say I say, whatever. I'm not going to say anything to this, but let's say I reply at least a few seconds into this. And then I hit the check mark at the bottom right. Let's say I like that. Now I can move this comment anywhere I like. I can also tap on it and set the duration of that comment. So I can make it shorter or longer, depending on how long I want it to be on the video. And then I can hit next, and that's an original piece of content. So now when someone sees that comment, they'll also see that there's a video to that comment, and they can go to it, and it could further bring people into engagement, and you could further educate your audience on whatever you're trying to share. or whatever whatever message you're trying to spread, you can get a little bit more connected and reply directly via video. So that's an example of a video reply. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I wanted to save this reply for later. I can just go to drafts and save it in my drafts as well. So that's also a great feature. So now let's say I wanted to create a duet. Let's say I see someone right here and I like this video, this person dancing, and I want to maybe do a dance with them or something. I click the share button at the bottom right, and it's usually will say duet or stitch, but for some reason this one isn't available. So sometimes people can turn that feature off. Maybe they don't want you to do that. So I'm going to see if I can find another one. Nope, not one, not either. Don't judge my TikTok. This is not really I don't use this one at all. All right, so let's go to stitch right now. As an example, I tapped stitch, and what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to select up to 5 seconds of the video. So I can choose which part I want, and then I can hit next, and I can add from that point on, I can add whatever I want to say to it or whatever I want to add to it or add any kind of effects. So that's a duet would work the same way. So let's say I recorded something right here. By holding it down, then I hit the check mark in the bottom right, and then I hit next, and I can share it or post it, and it says I did a stitch with that particular person. So that's how you would do a stitch, and those are just different ways to share, different ways to create content. So yeah, so that's that. So if there's anything else that you want to add to that, Vanessa?
Well, I was gonna say that TikTok is like, because it's so sound based and people reuse sounds and they reuse like things that they've already found on the app. For anyone who creates their own music, anyone who wants to create their own acting skits, if anyone wants to create like their own comedy skits, it's a really great space to do so, because if somebody thinks what you said is hilarious, they're gonna be taking that sound and doing a voiceover of their own. So I've even found really cool musicians and bands because I found their sound. I created a video with it, and then I ended up reaching out to those creators and saying like, hey, can I use this to repost on other apps and this, that, and the other. And you just create a really interesting relationship with these artists. So anyone who creates original music, you want to get your sounds on TikTok because it could go viral. I've seen various rappers and various like instrumental people that just their sound goes viral, and that's where they get their exposure from. So that's really awesome. Then there's also the trends. So I know it can be a little intimidating to like learn all these dances and do all these moves that seem really unnatural, but there's good news. On TikTok, there's tutorials. So pretty much any video that you want to learn, like say you want to learn the renegade dance, or you want to learn that new savage one, or whatever like the dance is, there's probably a tutorial for it. So you can either look it up on YouTube or within the TikTok app, go hashtag tutorials, and you'll see it slowed down at like 0.3 speed. They tell you exactly what the moves are, they count it out, and they show you what steps to make. So I've learned a bunch of the dances just by trial and error, watching the tutorials, sleep on it, come back to it, and then it comes into play. So it's pretty fun. And once you get them, it's hilarious, because I've even seen like travelers and people around. Sometimes I'll see the kids doing a dance that I know, and I'll like jump in with them, or like something will happen, and because it's like knowing the Thriller dance, it's kind of like that. So there's a whole culture around the trends, and it's a lot of fun.
The good news too is that you don't have to dance if you don't, and you don't have to lip sync.
No.
If you don't, you could literally just talk. I've known people that are successful just talking to the camera just like this, just sharing what's on their mind, and sharing what they're all about. And that's all, that it could be as simple as that. I know some people that don't even show their face. They just do a voiceover and just have video playing, and they just do a voiceover. So there's so many ways that you could do it. But yeah, you could also do that. But I would like you to share, if you want, Vanessa, I could give you the ability to share your screen if you want to show how to get to the trends and how does that work. Like, because like people might be thinking, how am I going to know a trend? Like what? Like there's a way that you can go find them really easily. And this is where I've had some of my best success on my videos in the past have been from finding these trends just like this, where you search it. So I'll let you be the host. so that
Okay.
you can share your screen.
All right. Screen sharing. All right. So TikTok. Basically, when I get on here, when you go to the discover section.
So where's the discover section? That's going to be when you hit search, right? The search bar at the
Yeah,
bottom.
just on the main section, discover, and then you'll see like the trends. So you'll see different like I don't know, like this one, not a photo, and it's probably like something that looks like a still, but it's actually a video. Or you could find the don't be surprised themes or simple recipes. So that one's trending right now. Say you want to add something that's like a simple recipe. Look through here, find a sound that works for you. So once you find one, say this one's a good sound and you want to add it to favorites for later, you could use the sound or you could share it with somebody else. So it's a really great way to just like see what's trending, see what's happening already. Um, yeah, and the tutorials. So I would just literally hashtag like the boss up challenge, for example. I would do like boss up tutorial. And then probably you'd end up seeing right here, this is, and like some people don't even show their faces, but they're just showing you like what moves you need to make. So it's really fun once you get onto that.
Yeah, so the benefits of some of those trends is they might work with whatever your niche is, or they might work with your business, or they might work with whatever you're selling, or they might work with whatever you're passionate about. And that's what worked for me when I first started on TikTok. I was really passionate about veganism and animal rights, and I was sharing a lot of stuff like that. And I would find sounds or I'd find trends that were not talking about that, but I would find a way to make it connected or make it blend in or make it fit, and so that people would be seeing that, and in turn I'd be educating people that might not normally be looking for that, but since they're being educated through this way, that's just another way to educate people. And the people on the app typically skew younger, so you have a chance to make some impressions on people that are a little bit different than maybe you would on like a Facebook, where people skew a lot older on Facebook. So it's a lot harder to make an impression on some of those people. So that's definitely a huge benefit. So yeah, so that's great. I want to add in another tip. So let me see. Another good tip is on timing. So TikTok is very, I would say, um, it's benefits on time of day. There's benefits there, and also benefits on geographic location, right? So for example, if I'm posting in California, it's going to show my videos to people in California first, probably before it's going to show them in New York or whatever, right? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of times that are some recommended times. And what you do with these times is when you post at these times, see how it works for you, because this isn't a perfect example of like, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, right? So I mean, nothing's perfect, but for example, there's 4 different times I'm going to give you, and 1 or 2 of those are likely to work. All right. So the first time is between 9:50 a.m. and 11 a.m. So kind of basically like 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Next time is 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then after 7 p.m. Now, if you try this a few days in a row and you see what's more successful, stick with that. Stick with what's more successful, right? And let's say you want to do, you're like, I'm going to do 3 or 4 a day. Okay, and you say, you know what works after 7, then do it after 7. You just do them all, just do all 3 of them after 7 if you want, and that's okay. TikTok doesn't mess you up if you post multiple back to back, whereas Instagram or Facebook doesn't really like that. Instagram, there's no real negative consequences for posting like 2 videos in a row, for whatever reason. So that's just a tip on timing. And what I do want to tell you guys is we have like less than 10 minutes. I do want to answer some questions, but I'll give Vanessa an opportunity to share one more tip real quick if you have a quick one. And then let's answer some of the questions to wrap it up so that we hit the timing.
So we never did
And
touch on the For You
okay.
page, and
Okay, go ahead.
that one's super crucial because if you hashtag For You or For You page or like FYP, it could help you get onto the trending page. So it's kind of like the discovery section on Instagram where things that are more popular just tend to show up there and they're more geared towards what you're already looking at. And when you make it on somebody's For You page, it means that TikTok is suggesting your video to them to see. So it helps you get seen by people who have never seen your profile before. So it's not like there's like a friends feed and then there's the For You page feed.
Yeah, and that feed, you know, the goal, the reason why people get on that feed is because they're having usually high engagement or high watch time. So if you have something that's people are you have a really good video and the first 5 seconds are really good, you have a good chance of getting on the For You page because that means that it has a higher engagement and it's not just being flipped through. If your video is just like flip through with like less than a second, then it's not going to be shared around or get to the For You page. So a hook is something that could help to like bring someone in, like make it have like an attention grabber. All right, so I'm going to answer some of the questions so that we can wrap this up. So am I recording? Yes, this is being recorded, so I plan to share this. Do you need a VPN to get all the features here in Belize? So that's a good question. So in Belize, there is an issue with the VPN. So VPN basically is it puts your location in another area. And so sometimes there's features that don't work in Belize or if you're in another country. But if you get a VPN, you can often get some of those features back, but it's not guaranteed because they're all the VPNs are a little bit different. And sometimes you have to pay for them to make that work. So yeah, that's one of the tough parts in other countries, unfortunately, is you might not have all of the features for it. Okay, so how to go live? I know you answered that one, but maybe some people didn't hear. Once you hit over 1,000 followers, you can start to go live. And in order to go live, all you need to do is there's a plus button in the middle where you post things. And if you hit plus and then swipe to the right, there'll be a live option once you hit over 1,000 followers. Okay, so don't forget to add hashtags in the comments after you create your video. Yeah, hashtags can definitely, obviously are important for various reasons. Like we just showed you, you could have a trending hashtag. So there could be trending hashtags that are important on TikTok, or you could, some people experiment with no hashtags. Some people do hashtags just in their niche, but it doesn't like a lot of hashtags. So stick to like 2 or 4. It doesn't, a lot of hashtags doesn't work well. It doesn't help. It's not quite like Instagram. Okay, let's see what else. Can you schedule those? That's a good question. Schedule the post. Let me see. I don't think that you can schedule the post, but you can put them in draft and then save them for later. There might be an apps that you can do schedule posts through another app, but no, I don't think through TikTok that I know of. How do you find what videos are trending? So you hit the search button and it says discover, and then you just scroll down and it tells you all of the hashtags that are trending, like literally right away. Like you don't have to do anything else besides that search. Okay, what other questions? I guess I got to get TikTok now. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, if you feel like you're ready to put some time into it, then yeah, definitely do it. If you feel like you're like, I don't know which platform I want to do, then it's a good one to try because that's huge engagement. If you're already really like heavy on other ones, it could be hard to add something else to it, but I do recommend trying it and giving it a shot and just growing it slowly and be patient with it if you want to at least try something new. Okay, let's see. Questions. Can someone please type those time in the chat? Yes, thank you for typing those time in the chat. Appreciate it. Are those times okay? So location that you're posting in, yeah, those are in the location that you're posting in. It'll be perfectly fine in the location that you're posting in. because at least people, I guess anyone from the West Coast to the East Coast in the US, that's what I'm basing it on. Honestly, anyone that's in Europe or anything else, I'm not sure. That's a yeah, you could Google it and find out best times in your if you're in another country like Europe. But Belize is basically the same. Um, yeah, the VPN is how I post in different states and countries. So if I select VPN, I can choose my location to be in California or New York or whatever, and then that can help by people seeing it in that area. Let's see, what are the questions? Do you guys have a hashtag for this community group when we advertise products? No, but you can create it for sure. Definitely. So how much time we have? We have 3 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes. Any other questions that you guys have? Or Vanessa, is there anything else that you want to add?
I think we're pretty good. I mean, we covered quite a bit just now. I mean, it's something that you got to play around with, have fun with. There's a lot of like jokes and like community sense in TikTok. I find like even like my page is full of a bunch of moms, which is hilarious because I'm not a mom, but I just find it really great. Like there's kind of a niche for everyone, and there's it's really great actually.
Also, we're going to be doing more of these as well. And we're going to get deeper into TikTok, deeper into the features, deeper into like, like how do you edit on it, more details on that, or how do you use some of the like different features within it, like the filters. Like there's some interesting filters that are a little bit different. So just like how to do that stuff as well. But keep in mind that this can be your video editor and you could play around with it because it's really simple, it's basic. And then what you can do is you can save that video and post it somewhere else. You could post it in Facebook, you could post it in Instagram, you could share it directly to Instagram stories, you could post it on YouTube if you want. And then it has your little watermark, so it has your logo. So people are like, hey, they're TikTok, and maybe I'll go follow them on TikTok. So that's one thing that I really like about that as well.
Oh, the
Where was the
sound
sound
search is
search again? So sounds, you want to answer that question?
It's in the discover section. So in the very center, there's like the plus sign, and then just to the left of that, it's going to be discover. And that's where you'll come up with a bunch of the trending hashtags and the trending sounds that you can kind of peruse through. And I always find like the more fun you have with it and the more ridiculous, like it ends up being like more effective. So sometimes like you'll work really, really hard on a video and you spend like a lot of time and it might not really gain that traction. But then something that you just like authentically throw out there like could just go viral. So it's really like have zero expectations. Have fun is like the main goal because you never know what like people are gonna like it. I don't know.
You can also get to sounds by hitting the plus button, and then at the top add sounds. And then to answer the copyright, there could be an issue with copyright as well. Potentially songs they're not available on Instagram, and you might get blocked on the sound. So that could be an issue. So yeah, and you can ask more information on that as well directly. All right, well that's it for it now, guys. We're out of time, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you
Bye.
guys.